What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to take a quick look at English grammar as it applies to your students. Most students, by the time they are in middle or high school, forget a lot of the rules of grammar, right? Which means, like, when do you capitalize? When do you use a comma? When do you use a semicolon? How do you get two sentences, combine them? How do you combine them? When do you use quotation marks? There are literally hundreds and hundreds of grammar rules. And that's why starting in sixth grade, you have a grammar book. And then in seventh grade, you have another one that builds on that. It's a little bit like math. It builds on itself. And it is very, very common, even for really good students, to forget some of those rules. So if that is the case for your students, I have a book that I want to share with you that has been, I've suggested this to countless of my own students. And it is called, if you can see it there, you can see I've read it so much that, it's very old and messed up. English Grammar for Dummies. Okay. Now, the Dummies books, if you have read them, in my opinion, there's some amazing books, but this one in particular, if you have a student who is at least at the sixth grade level, sixth grade going all the way up to high school and college and beyond, I highly recommend getting this book and just having it there like you would have a dictionary there, and going through it periodically to basically brush up on the rules of grammar. Because in English, in history, in other classes, anything where you're going to write an essay or even test prep, the SAT, the ACT, that book and those rules are totally vital to doing well and excelling in all of those subjects. So the alternative, unfortunately, is to go and get the sixth grade grammar book, the seventh grade grammar book, the eighth grade grammar book, all the way up to the 12th grade grammar book. And each of those books is like 300 pages. That is what I did, actually, because I was originally just a math tutor. And then I branched out into English and other things like history and chemistry and whatnot. And I had that weak spot of, I had holes in my grammar game. And I thought, I actually got all the grammar books from sixth grade up. I ordered them, way back in like 2006 or 2007. And I was going through them and I was getting really burned out. I'm like, God, there's so many rules, and just wasn't clicking. I was spending days and days and weeks on this stuff. And then I discovered that book, the English Grammar for Dummies book. And literally within a couple of weeks, the holes in my grammar knowledge were filled up. And I could tutor it, and I could look at a student's essay, or I could teach a student grammar and really know all the rules, basically. So if you have a student who is sixth grade or up into high school or college, middle school, any of that, and they, whether they're great in grammar or whether they're really struggling with grammar, get them this book and encourage them to, read maybe a few pages a day. And they'll be done with the book in a month if they do that. And it's going to really, really make a big difference in their grammar game, so to speak, so that in their class of English, history, in their tests like SAT, ACT, PSAT, or if they're younger, the ISEE, any kind of, even their application essays, everything that involves writing or testing their knowledge of grammar, they are going to go leaps and bounds ahead of where they were before they read that book. The only person it may not apply to is if someone is really super solid already with grammar. They may not need it. But anyone who is not really at an A+ level with grammar, they are going to benefit fantastically from this book. And I really look forward to any feedback on this. If anyone gets this book and they feel like, nah, it wasn't that good, or if you do get it, like I think you will, and your student goes, oh my God, like I'm killing it in grammar, and their English grade goes up and all that kind of stuff. I would love to to get some feedback on that, because I believe it is an absolute gem of a book, perhaps one of the best ones, or the best one, the most valuable one that I found in my 20 plus years of being in this business. Okay, so that's that for today, and hope everybody is having a great week. Later.